Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic, and we have Dr. Harley with us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, John. I am doing fantastic. I am tired of this winter, but
anytime you want to be done winter, we're fine with that.
It gives us something to talk about, right?
It does. And we just did, my beautiful bride Heidi and I are also patients at Balanced Life Chiropractic. We just did our annual assessment, so it's kind of cool. And I think people should know how you guys do that. It's not just, I don't know, the technology amazes me. So what are some of the technology things that you guys use in your office?
So we use a nerve scan and a muscle assessment that we use as a reassessment to really track your progress. How are you doing? You know, it's one thing for me to say, oh yeah, these things feel better, this is moving better, but we can actually put it on a screen in front of you and show you where your issues were and, you know, where they're not anymore or where things are creeping up, kind of thing. So like we can make sure we're maintaining, if you're feeling good, we're maintaining that, because that's really, we don't want to just fix your problems and then never address it again, but make sure that we keep those from coming back, kind of thing. So the nerve scan is looking at basically where the stress is at in your nervous system, and it comes off as heat. So a temperature, basically it's like a giant thermometer looking side to side temperature differences, pinpointing where those problems are at in your spine. And it may not even be areas that you realize that's where your stress is at, because our pain always isn't, or I should say isn't always, but it's not always in the right, where we're thinking it's at. Like, oh, my hip hurts, but the problem could be coming from somewhere else. So that's really what we're addressing, is where that issue's coming from, not just where your pain is really, like where you feel your pain at.
Because the hip bone is connected to the thigh bone. No, all these things are all connected. So then you could have an issue in one place where you're feeling the pain, but it's really because of something else.
Exactly. A lot of times, like, things are compensating, and when we're feeling that pain, a lot of times that's because it's been working harder to make up for an area that's not able to work as hard, as a way of looking at that.
And then if that has you walking a little bit different, now you could be causing different pains in different places because you're walking different.
Right. As we're getting things moving, other areas get irritated because they weren't moving before, and now we're making them work. And, just like anyone that wants to work out, like, your body's not super happy about that change, but it gets used to it. So it's kind of the same idea. And then we also use a muscle assessment to see, are your muscles overactive or are they underactive? So if you are doing things like you're doing massage therapy, you're stretching, working out, PT, going to the chiro, and nothing seems to be working, using all the information can show us, well, this makes sense why nothing's sticking, because these muscles are so overactive that you do one thing and then you don't do it again for a while. Those muscles are going to pull it right back out because they're so used to that. Or maybe they're not active enough, so it's easier for those things to shift out of alignment because the muscles aren't holding and stabilizing your spine like it should. So all that really tells us, how long these issues have been there and what's it really going to take to start making those changes.
And these things are really accurate, because that muscle machine showed that I have no muscles and I'm mainly made of pudding. Okay, maybe not that.
Not quite that accurate.
The thing that is fascinating to me, though, is it's almost like nowadays, if you have a car problem, when you go to a mechanic, first thing they do is they run a diagnostic. Mm-hmm. Like, they plug this thing into a machine, it does this diagnostic check, and it tells them what the issue is. So they don't have to just start, messing around and changing every little thing. And that's kind of, and I know it's not quite that, but that's kind of similar to this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it. It's like, we're not guessing where your issues are at just based on what you're telling us. We're able to use technology to help us really dive in and figure out where the root cause of your problems are coming from.
And it's not necessarily because the patient would be wrong, but sometimes we don't know.
Right.
So it's like, when I'm telling you I have a pain here, I might have a pain there, but it could be caused because of something in a different place.
Exactly.
So if somebody listening is going, oh, that's not how we've done this in the past, but boy, I'd be interested in checking that out. How do they get a hold of you, and how do they sign up to become a patient with you at Balanced Life Chiropractic?
They can give us a call at 605-215-1785, or they can message us on our Facebook page, Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'd love to chat, let them know how we can help them have a happier, healthier new year.
That'd be very nice. Again, you can also find them online. Their website, balancedlifesd.com.